Fight last weekend against a 135-pounder. He's now fighting a heavyweight king. He's the pride of not only Puerto Rico, but Cleveland, Ohio as well. He's El Gallo. He's the one and only, the problem child, Jake Paul.
Village and work and farm. He was a big guy, like a Cossack.
He's coming prepared. You know, he's saying this is the hardest he's ever trained, and he's right. I'm not a good boxer. I'm a great.
I feel like that. But like I was saying, we all know that AJ don't want no smoke with Deontay. As much as I don't like
boxing news. Oleksandr Usyk interrupted the press conference between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. He warned Jake Paul, saying he is not a real boxer, and praised Joshua as an Olympic champion. Usyk's words shocked everyone, making it clear there is a big difference between Joshua and Jake Paul.
Anthony Joshua won. Anthony killed this guy. Listen, a lot of questions, blah blah blah. Only one my answer. Anthony Joshua is Olympic champion first. Jake Paul, it's sportsman, YouTuber, showman.
Anthony Joshua made it clear at the press conference that he is fully focused and hungry for this fight. He said he just wants to do really well, showing his motivation is unmatched. Compared to Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua's Olympic champion skills and experience put him on another level, making him far more ready.
Do really well at it when I'm doing it, really. I'm just really hungry and motivated still.
Jake Paul did not hold back, admitting he has a tough opponent in Anthony Joshua. He urged fans to get the pay-per-view and be ready. But even in his own words, his focus seems shaky compared to Anthony Joshua, whose hunger, skill, and Olympic champion pedigree put him clearly on another level.
Talking trash, has he gotten under your skin a little bit compared to some of your past opponents?
Oleksandr Usyk warned Jake Paul at the press conference, stressing that this fight is serious business and not just a show. He highlighted that only hard work and focus will matter, making it clear Paul faces a huge challenge against Anthony Joshua's skill and experience. Usyk's concern shows how unprepared Paul truly is.
Всіх законних правил. І ми це зробили.
The adaptation was that 2 years Alex lived in the gym and all the team was struggling experiment how to do him heavyweight for the legal way, and we managed to do it, and now Alex is a...
Anthony Joshua praised the organizers for creating a spectacular event, showing respect for the global effort behind the press conference. His focus on the professionalism and scale highlights how serious Joshua is, contrasting sharply with Jake Paul, who is still learning the ropes in a world where skill and preparation dominate.
Shout out to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia once again, for putting like this great show on. Like whether you're a boxing fan or not, you gotta give respect. You know what I'm saying? Like this fight as a whole, this whole fight card from an entertainment perspective is...
Logan Paul couldn't help but admit the huge experience gap. Anthony Joshua is described almost as a perfect athlete, a true gladiator, while Jake Paul remains a showman. The contrast makes it clear why insiders see this as a one-sided challenge and why Paul is under immense pressure to prove himself.
The experience difference, Anthony Joshua is a former heavyweight champion who's knocked out heavyweight champions.
Has he ever tried like Ozempic or Mounjaro?
This is a guy who is already perfect.
Okay.
He's perfect.
Okay.
He's like, if you could sculpt like a perfect gladiator human being, it's Anthony Joshua.
Tony Bellew emphasized the huge difference between hype and reality. Jake Paul might be talented in his niche, but facing a former unified heavyweight champion like Anthony Joshua is an entirely different challenge. Even seasoned pros mocked the idea that Paul could match Joshua's experience, strength, and skill in the ring.
I actually believe he's better than what people think he is.
He is better than people think he is, but doesn't mean you can take on the former unified heavyweight champion of the world. I know some white collar fighters who are really good, but you ain't getting in with me, and I'm 42. I'll take your whiskers off you.
Derek Chisora made it perfectly clear that Anthony Joshua will treat this fight as a straightforward outing. He doesn't see any challenge in Jake Paul, insisting Joshua will simply smoke him. That kind of confidence from a seasoned heavyweight like Chisora shows the boxing world is not taking Paul seriously, Joshua's experience, skill, and championship pedigree make him an overwhelming favorite, and experts agree this is one-sided. Jake Paul might bring hype and a big social media audience, but in the ring against a true Olympic champion, he is completely outmatched.
Easy fight for him. And I think this should be laid to rest, because I don't think AJ's going to go in and try and pat. AJ's going to smoke.
Oleksandr Usyk didn't mince words when addressing Jake Paul. He made it clear that Anthony Joshua is a professional and Olympic champion, while Paul is not a real boxer. Usyk highlighted the skill and experience gap, making it obvious that Joshua is in a completely different league. This press conference moment shows how serious Joshua is and how little Paul brings to the table beyond showmanship. Usyk's warning adds a heavy dose of reality for fans of Paul and confirms that any attempt from Jake Paul to act as a legitimate boxer against AJ is destined to fail badly.
Last fight, it's great. Because Anthony is Olympic champion, Francis Ngannou, it's second fight for boxing. Listen.
Don Charles expressed genuine disbelief that Jake Paul would even step into the ring with Anthony Joshua. To experienced eyes, this matchup is almost absurd. Charles stressed that if it really happens, it will be the best man winning, clearly suggesting Joshua's superiority. The commentary captures how the boxing community sees Paul as far out of his depth and highlights Joshua as the benchmark for what a real professional boxer brings. Fans are aware that Joshua's skill, power, and professional boxer brings championship experience make him a far greater fighter than Paul could ever hope to be in this matchup.
Exhibition, I'm surprised at that, because you just wouldn't put Jake Paul in the same ring as Anthony Joshua, surely. But if it's for real, then it's for real. May the best man win. And I know, come on, gosh, this is like, the world has changed, it really has.
David Adelaide highlighted a critical factor that many underestimate: Anthony Joshua's power. People might focus on his past results or technical skill, but they often forget just how devastatingly hard he hits. Against someone like Jake Paul, this becomes a huge advantage, as the social media star has no real experience against fighters with real knockout power. The commentary reinforces that Joshua's Olympic pedigree, experience, and raw power make him far more dangerous than hype alone suggests. Fans and analysts alike know that any misstep from Paul could end badly very fast.
He hits harder than people expect, I think a lot of people, obviously, they pick up on his boxing and how good of a boxer he is, but he hits harder than people expect.
Adam Smith raised an interesting point about Joshua's strategy and timing. Anthony Joshua has the ability to win whenever he wants, but questions remain about how he approaches the fight after 14 months out of the ring. This adds a strategic angle, as Joshua could either go for an early finish or pace himself to test Paul's resilience. Jake Paul lacks the experience to gauge the mental and tactical adjustments Joshua can make. The commentary shows that while Joshua's skill is unquestionable, his fight plan, intensity, and preparation will determine the scale of his dominance over Paul.
Happens, AJ should win whenever he wants to win. But will he want to win early? Will he want to get some rounds in, being inactive for 14 months to prepare him for 2020?
Don Charles highlighted the full extent of Anthony Joshua's strengths, pointing out his immense punching power, unmatched physicality, and vast experience at the highest levels of boxing. Each of these qualities makes him a terrifying opponent for Jake Paul. The press conference showcased Joshua's preparation and focus, leaving no doubt that his technical skills, Olympic background, and championship experience will dominate any untested fighter like Jake Paul. Experts agree that Jake Paul has charisma and hype, but he simply cannot compete with a professional of Anthony Joshua's caliber. Every move, every word from the press conference reinforced that Anthony Joshua is on another level and ready to prove it in the ring.
They look at all the positives of Anthony Joshua. He has loads of positives. His punching power, his physicality, his experience at this level.
Carl Froch made it clear that Anthony Joshua's technique and ring IQ are far beyond anything Jake Paul can handle. Even if Joshua is slightly past his peak, his precise 1-2 combination, control of distance, and experience make him untouchable in the ring. Jake Paul has never faced a real heavyweight champion, And his loss to Tommy Fury confirms he is not ready for this level. The press conference showed Joshua's calm and calculated mindset, while Jake Paul appeared nervous and untested. Experts unanimously agree that this fight is heavily one-sided. Anthony Joshua's precision, speed, and power will dominate from the opening bell, leaving Paul scrambling to survive.
What should happen? This is a one-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud.
Benavidez Sr. stressed that while Anthony Joshua is heavily favored, Jake Paul is still dangerous because anything can happen in boxing. However, the press conference and expert opinions make it clear that Anthony Joshua's Olympic pedigree, world championship experience, and technical superiority place him far above Paul. The chance of a true upset is minimal, and every analyst agrees that Joshua's preparation, power, and skill make him a near impossible target. Benavidez Sr.'s words confirm that while Paul may try to create chaos, Anthony Joshua is focused, determined, and ready to prove why he is one of the best heavyweight boxers in the world.
You know, don't count him out. You know, I think that's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, you know, we could have a big upset, you know, but...
Spencer Oliver explained why he is confident Anthony Joshua will win, noting Joshua's pride and personal drive to maintain respect in boxing. Anthony Joshua will not underestimate Jake Paul, and the press conference revealed his intense focus and determination. Expect Joshua to be aggressive, precise, and relentless, leaving Paul little opportunity to adapt. Spencer Oliver's insight confirms that Anthony Joshua's experience and confidence will dominate every aspect of this fight. Jake Paul may have hype, but he lacks the mental toughness, skill, and championship experience that Anthony Joshua brings to the ring. The experts are unanimous. Joshua will control the fight and make a clear statement.
Sailing very close to the win, picking Anthony Joshua, because I know Joshua and I know him well. And he's a proud guy, and he will not want to lose any respect from this, and he knows that he's got to get this job done. So expect to see an aggressive Anthony Joshua, which is only bad for Jake Paul.
Anthony Joshua spoke with authority and hunger, making it clear that anyone entering the ring will face a true champion. His excitement for competition shows his mental strength and readiness, sending a clear message to Jake Paul that he is stepping into a world-class fight. The press conference highlighted Joshua's focus, intensity, and experience, all of which make him a formidable opponent. Analysts noted that Joshua's determination to dominate will leave Paul struggling from the opening bell. Every word reinforced that Anthony Joshua is prepared to show the world why he is an Olympic champion and former world heavyweight champion, and that Jake Paul is vastly outclassed.